Okay, hey guys, so jumping into calories for March 11th, which was yesterday. Today is 12th. So this video is coming in a bit late. So it's roughly 8:30, almost 8:30, 5 minutes to 8:30. And so, yeah, it is what it is there. And so, yeah, my calorie intake was actually pretty light relative to everything. So, something else I'm thinking about, so it was nice to have like an itemized list of different things that I'm eating and having all of the sort of macros here. So what I want to do, it's one of the things on my agenda, is to fill out the entire macro profile as well as the sodium, because that is something I do want to track in the future, not now. Just based on looking at everything, this sodium does tend to be a little bit, it is a little bit high for me. Um, but even then, I'm not entirely sure if that's an assessment I should be making, considering that, you know, I used to be on a series of what I would call like low sodium diets, in which I would oftentimes have a sodium intake of less than 1,000. And I would pivot between less than 1,000, 1 through 5, and then up to 15, right? It would be, or I guess less than 1,500 or less than 1,000. Because under 1,000, I noticed that I was still feeling hungry for some reason, or just either that or just, yeah, I really couldn't make the distinction as to whether I was feeling signs of hunger or maybe it was like, a sodium deficiency, which is something you can have. It is pretty rare, but if you're not getting an ideal amount of sodium, it's by definition a deficiency. And anyway, I'm not really a nutritionist, so I don't want to get too much into a domain that I'm not really an expert in. But yeah, right now, as long as I'm, making sure that I'm not eating a lot of, garbage, which I'm not. Like the only thing that I would consider is maybe a little bit of a fun food that I eat are I would put raisins in there, but but when it comes to sodium, I would say it's more of the cashews. I'm not entirely sure if yeah, here they are. It's these. I get these from a particular store, and they're dry roasted as well, so no oil. I'm not a huge proponent, I'm not a huge opponent to seed oils, right? Like, extra virgin olive oil and stuff like that, right? But it is something that I would consider as a less than ideal thing to have. In fact, I would say anything that is a pure macro, right? Like processed sugar or olive oil, right? Is generally considered not a good thing because you really wouldn't find that like in nature. And so, yeah, I don't know. Once again, I don't want to go too much into something I'm not really an expert in, right? But yeah, this is just it. And yeah, gonna go to the next thing, which is the dashboard. Okay, so we're here at the dashboard, and I do want to go over a couple of things. It looks like yesterday, I'm not sure if it rained yesterday, but yeah, these results are not necessarily ideal. Yeah, I think it did rain yesterday. It wasn't a lot of rain, or wasn't as much rain as I was expecting based on the forecast, but there was a bit of rain. Something else that I'm noticing as well is that my heart rate actually went up. My resting heart rate went up. And this makes sense considering that I'm no longer doing the hill walks or the steep incline walks and stuff like that, which is something I want to get back to doing pretty soon. My knee, based on yesterday's video, it was 90% healed, right? I just realized that I could actually feel this sort of, I don't want to say pain, but more like pressure in the right knee when I was doing incline just on the treadmill. And so I vowed to take it easy, but first thing Monday morning, I actually want to get started on that again. Your resting heart rate, of course, I'm not I'm not an MD, right? I'm not a medical doctor here, but usually, right, just all things equal, your resting heart rate is a really good indicator of your health, right? Like the lower it is, barring certain conditions, is a more efficient heart. And cardio is one of the ways that is one of the things that you can do that makes your heart more efficient. And so this is why, as I've gotten in better shape over time, my heart rate has declined. And it's something I'm going to hate, especially during the beginning, because when you stop working out, and, especially if it's something that was pretty intense, when you stop doing it, the hardest part is starting over again. But we have to do what we have to do here. This is not a channel of complaining and excuses. We're a channel here of hard work and solutions. So it is what it is. It's going to suck, but it's something that I need to do in order to build leg strength, just making sure that I'm doing things in a very appropriate and calculated manner, right? So that's not really a big deal for me. Met my calorie goals. Not really a big shocker there. Miles goals, really light, especially for Saturday, but once again, the weather wasn't really as amazing. So I try to just keep an eye out when the weather's horrible. I try to just worry about my steps and my calories, and most importantly, the calories. Yeah, so the steps barely exceeded there, but met my goal. Very easy stuff there, 15,000. So looking pretty good to me. Okay, and so the calories in versus calories out, this is looking really good. I had a deficit of 1375. Anything over 1,000 is really good. Yeah, and so something else that I'm thinking about as well, you may have noticed, my face is not in the video. So that's something I'm thinking about doing only with the exception of my Monday videos, where I go over my weight loss. That's sort of like the weekly main event, right? It's on Mondays. And I think it would be nice to see me every Monday. Perhaps you guys would be able to notice my weight loss as well. Because it's much easier to recognize changes on a week-to-week basis versus a day-to-day basis. Anyway, the Mint video, right, or the Mint budgeting video is coming up pretty soon. So that will be posted as a second video. Right now, it's, the website is having problems loading. And so rather than wait for everything to, fix on that end, I'd rather just give you guys this video and, just upload the other video on the finance stuff next. Anyway, a lot faster upload. So looking forward to the next video. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and until next time.